Yep, and just like that, Overland Expo East comes to a close. We're wrapped up. It was fun.
It's fun.
Finally got some nice blue skies and sunshine to round out this roller coaster of a weather trip. And now just time to navigate through the mud and find our way out of here. Overlanding. Our family kind of got into overlanding, you know, a year and a half ago. And you know, we had the truck for it because I'm a general contractor. We had a four-wheel drive vehicle, so instead of building some elaborate deal, we just went ahead and ran with the Toyota Tundra that I already had. And what we found out is you don't need a very elaborate vehicle at all. You can use just about anything, especially something with four-wheel drive. Because if there's one thing we noticed, it's not about, you know, conquering the terrain or, you know, trying to get to the top of a hill and you know, winning or anything like that. It's as much about the journey between points A and B as it is getting to the destination. For instance, this last journey down to Overland Expo East in North Carolina, we're coming from northern Michigan. It's 750 plus miles, pretty much right down I-75 as you get down into, you know, through Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, and then finally into North Carolina. You realize there are a ton of beautiful places to pull off and check out on the way. And growing up, I used to be at point A to point B. I tried to get from point A to point B as efficiently as possible. And in doing so, I probably missed a ton of outstanding places to stop, really exciting terrain to visit, hikes. We love waterfalls, so we're always looking for a cool waterfall to hike to. But you know, with today's technology, you've got an iPhone or any type of phone for that matter. While you're traveling, you and your spouse, you and your brother, you and your sister, you and your kids, whoever, can be researching these places to stop on the way. We found that on this trip, we spent more time en route than we did actually at the destination. We probably spent a day and a half, day and 3/4 at Overland Expo. The event wasn't huge, so we were able to see everything we needed to see, talk to vendors, talk to different manufacturers, get things lined up for work. So we actually left a little earlier than we planned to head back home, but not to get home, you know, to try and find a few things on the way. And in doing so, you know, we found a massive waterfall in Tennessee. It's called the Little Niagara. It was impressive to say the least. We met interesting people. Beautiful hikes as you travel through the Smokey Mountains. It's worth spending more time researching your route from point A to point B than just racing to the destination to get there as an accomplishment or conquering something. So if you set up a trip where you're overlanding, just remember that, you know, it's as much about the journey as it is the destination, if not more so. We're staying right now in Kentucky at a tiny home that we found on Airbnb. And it's cool. It's literally 12 feet by 12 feet with a upstairs loft. And, you know, don't stay in hotels. You know, you shouldn't. Just, you've got your phone, download the Airbnb app and look for something a little off the beaten path. This is 30 minutes out of our way and totally worth it. You know, our hosts are wonderful, and you know, it's more fun than staying at a Hampton Inn when you're trying to travel overland. You don't always have to stay in your rooftop tent or your camper. Sometimes it's nice to change it up and find something a little different like this. So I encourage you to get out there. You don't need an amazing vehicle. Anything will do. A lot of the en route travel is going to be on interstates anyways because they're so efficient. It's not like you can, you know, get from point A to point B. And look at this, I got those little puppers here. What are you doing? I don't know if you can see that, but that's a chicken right there. I mean, I've got a golden retriever I'm playing fetch with, and a chicken, and only I could get some eggs for breakfast out of that.
Hey there, here we are, Sunday morning, Overland Expo weekend. Decided yesterday that we would sleep at an Airbnb for a little warmth after the mud and rain, and got up this morning and are heading out of town. Left Asheville and going through the Great Smokey Mountains. Right now we are headed to the Roaring Fork Motor Trail, which is a 6-mile loop. Going to be able to hike to some waterfalls, and this 6-mile one-way loop is supposed to be quite beautiful.
We decided to drive through downtown's Gatlinburg on a weekend, and I don't know, might have been a mistake.
Not overlanding.
Possibly too many people. Looking for a cup of coffee now before we go on the Roaring Fork Motor Trail. Alright, check this place out. Off to Grotto Falls in where, Tennessee? Gatlinburg? Made it to Grotto Falls in North Carolina. You can see behind us, and we're gonna walk under it. Pretty cool. What's the rest of the song?
Oh.
Huh?
I don't know, that's it.
That's all she knows.
Left Dollywood, just traveling through. On our way back to Michigan, took a slight detour today. Left at, I don't know, 9:30, and we are still 12 hours away from home.
So we decided to stay in Frankfort, Kentucky last night on our way back to Michigan after Overland Expo. And are we going to stay in a Hampton Inn? No. We're going to Airbnb a tiny home. It's probably 12 feet by 12 feet. And as my editor said when I sent him the link to this place, he goes, "Oh yeah, looks like the Unabomber's cabin." And then I started thinking, I hope not, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty tiny. It's 12 feet by 12 feet, and let's go take a look inside. Hey!
Good morning.
Welcome to our tiny home for the night. I'm gonna stand in one place and do the whole kitchen.
Pardon me.
Voila. Check out these countertops. Bagels for breakfast. Copper sink. All the amenities. The heating and ventilation system. And then up the handmade spiral staircase into the loft area where we spent the night last night. You should definitely think about looking at alternative means of laying your head down at night. You know, you don't always have to sleep in your rooftop tent or your camper or a hotel. You should find something more personal. Hey, fellas. Is that your brother or sister?